Have you ever wondered how one of the most powerful empires in the world started and ended? From the vast reaches of Europe to the sands of Africa and the Near East, the Roman Empire was a titan of political and military might that left an indelible mark on the annals of history. At its zenith, this colossal entity was the most formidable power in the world, its influence echoing through the ages. The birth of the Roman Empire can be traced back to one man, Augustus Caesar. With his ascension, a new chapter began, one that would see Rome grow from a republic into an empire. This transformation was not merely a change in political structure, but a shift in the very fabric of Roman society. Augustus's rule was more than just a reign, it was a revolution. Yet, the legacy of Augustus Caesar extends beyond the foundation of the Roman Empire. He was the harbinger of the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity that stretched over 200 years. During this time, Rome flourished in a golden age of cultural, economic, and social growth. The Pax Romana, with its tranquility, allowed for the expansion and consolidation of Roman power, a testament to the prowess and foresight of Augustus Caesar. But as with all empires, the reins of power had to pass on. The death of Augustus marked the end of an era, but it was also the beginning of a new one. Power passed to Tiberius, initiating a series of reigns that would shape the course of the Roman Empire. Each reign, each dynasty, left its mark, contributing to the intricate tapestry that is the history of the Roman Empire. Now let's delve deeper into the reigns that followed Augustus Caesar. After Augustus Caesar's death, power transferred to Tiberius, marking the beginning of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. This dynasty, a family line of 5 Roman emperors, held sway over the empire for over 4 decades. It was a time of great power, but also of great turmoil. Following Tiberius, the mantle of leadership passed to Caligula, then to Claudius, and finally to Nero. Each emperor brought his own unique style of governance and left his indelible mark on the empire. Tiberius, a seasoned military man, continued to expand the empire's borders, while Caligula's rule was marked by extravagance and tyranny. On the other hand, Claudius, despite his physical ailments, proved to be an effective administrator, initiating public works and reforming the legal system. Nero, the last of this line, is perhaps most infamously remembered for his alleged fiddling while Rome burned. His reign was marked by artistic patronage but also by political murders and the persecution of Christians. The end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty marked a significant turning point in the history of the Roman Empire. The suicide of Nero triggered a period of upheaval known as the Year of the Four Emperors. In the aftermath of Nero's demise, Rome was left in a power vacuum, setting the stage for a year of chaos and confusion. A sequence of short-lived reigns ensued, with Galba, Otho, and Vitellius each taking the throne in quick succession. Yet none could hold on to power for long, their reigns marked by political instability and brutal conflict. Galba, the first to claim the throne, was an aged and stern leader, but his reign was cut short by a mutiny. Otho, his successor, was a man of extravagant tastes, yet his reign was short-lived, ending in a tragic suicide. Vitellius, the third emperor, was known for his gluttony and extravagance, but his rule was marred by corruption and violence. Finally, Vespasian emerged from the chaos, a seasoned military leader with a pragmatic approach to governance. He managed to restore order, marking the end of the tumultuous Year of the Four Emperors. His reign heralded the establishment of the Flavian dynasty, a new era of relative peace and stability in the Roman Empire. With the Flavian dynasty's establishment, a new chapter in the Roman Empire's story began. The Flavian dynasty brought about significant changes in the Roman Empire. With the demise of the Year of the Four Emperors, Vespasian stepped forward, founding the Flavian dynasty. This was an era of architectural innovation and administrative reform. The Flavians, known for their practicality, focused on the consolidation of the empire, strengthening its borders and fortifying its military might. The most iconic symbol of the Flavian dynasty, the Colosseum, still stands today as a testament to their architectural prowess. It was during this time that the empire saw the construction of the Temple of Peace and the Arch of Titus as well. But their reign was not just about grand structures. The Flavians also reformed tax laws and initiated a range of public welfare measures. As the Flavian era drew to a close, the torch of leadership passed to the Nervan-Antonine dynasty. This period is often hailed as the zenith of the empire's golden age, mainly due to the rule of the 5 good emperors. These emperors were known for their wisdom, their sense of justice, and their commitment to the welfare of the people. Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius, each in their own way, contributed to the prosperity and stability of the empire. They fortified the borders, constructed roads, built cities, and promoted the arts and education. They were not just rulers, but also philosophers, architects, and soldiers. Their reign was marked by a sense of unity and a shared vision for the future of the empire. The Nervan Antonine dynasty was a period of relative peace and prosperity, a time when the empire reached its greatest territorial extent. However, like all good things, this era too had to come to an end. As the Nervan Antonine dynasty ended, the Roman Empire faced a new era under the Severan dynasty. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. The Severan dynasty's reign was marked by significant developments, followed by a period of instability. The Severan dynasty, an influential period in the Roman Empire's history, began with Septimius Severus, who seized power in a civil war following the death of Emperor Commodus. Severus was a tough and shrewd leader, hailing from the province of Africa. He focused on strengthening the military, raising soldiers' pay, and establishing a stable succession by appointing his 2 sons, Caracalla and Geta, as joint heirs. Caracalla, known for his brutal rule, is perhaps best remembered for extending Roman citizenship to all free men within the empire. This was a revolutionary move that reshaped Rome's identity and legal system. The subsequent emperors of the Severan dynasty continued to rule with a heavy reliance on the military, leading to an increase in the army's influence on political affairs. However, as the dynasty waned, the empire plunged into a period known as the crisis of the 3rd century, a time of unprecedented chaos and instability. This was a challenging era, marked by frequent changes in leadership, with more than 25 claimants to the imperial throne over a span of just 50 years. It was a time of civil war, economic collapse, and external invasions. The empire was stretched thin, struggling to maintain its borders and internal unity. The crisis of the 3rd century exposed the inherent weaknesses in the Roman Empire's political and economic structures. The inability to maintain a stable succession and the constant power struggles weakened the empire, making it vulnerable to external threats. This period of instability ultimately led to significant reforms, but it also marked the beginning of the end for the Roman Empire. The crisis of the 3rd century marked the beginning of the end for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, once a beacon of power and prosperity, was on the brink of collapse. This mighty empire, which had been the most powerful political and military entity in the world at its zenith, was facing its twilight. The Western Empire, one half of the divided realm, fell in the year 476, marking the end of this once great entity. Many factors contributed to this monumental collapse. The empire had been gradually weakening from within due to several reasons. One of these was the economic distress brought on by heavy taxes, rampant corruption, and an over-reliance on slave labor. The economy was in shambles, with inflation running wild and trade dwindling. Political instability was another significant factor. The empire had seen a series of inept and short-lived rulers, with power often changing hands through violence and treachery. The governing system was riddled with corruption, and the loyalty of the military, once the backbone of the empire, was eroding. Furthermore, the empire was under constant threat from external forces. Barbarian invasions from Germanic tribes, Persians, and Huns were frequent and devastating. The empire's vast size made it difficult to manage and defend effectively, and the military, stretched thin and lacking resources, was unable to prevent these incursions. The fall of the Western Empire in 476 was the final nail in the coffin. The last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was overthrown by the Germanic king Odoacer, marking the end of more than a millennium of Roman rule and the beginning of the Middle Ages in Europe. And thus, the Roman Empire, a symbol of power and dominance, met its end, leaving an indelible mark on world history. This momentous event marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new epoch, forever shaping the course of human civilization.